Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another crypto video. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto content. Today we're going to be talking about HBAR and the overall price chart analysis of it as well. But before we jump into this video, I do just want to say I am giving away 100 HBAR to one lucky person who comments down below and also likes this video. I will be giving that away out at about 150 likes, as I think that it's very achievable, as we've achieved it back on past videos. So let's jump into this overall. So right now we are seeing some price action in the market. Right now, Bitcoin is very volatile. Currently, we've seen jumps up to about 34.8K before coming, crashing down to about 33,000 overall. We are currently under support, and we will pretty much look at that as well. I do just want to also analyze down here that HBAR is still sitting at about 51. It's not in the top 50. It's actually not down as much compared to most assets. For an example, KSM is down 46%, Graph is down 20%, CHZ is down 30%. There's a lot of assets that are down quite a bit compared to HBAR. So HBAR has actually been performing fairly strong against Bitcoin, especially if you look into XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano, and stuff like that. A lot of them are performing very poorly in terms of strength. So let's jump into the overall price chart for Bitcoin. We'll start with Bitcoin and then we'll go to HBAR, as Bitcoin is a little bit more important than HBAR currently in terms of price action. So I mentioned a few key points here to really analyze. I said that we could possibly retest down in these lower 20K zones. I am still very wary about that. I still think that it's a very high possibility, especially considering the fact that we just broke down below 33.5K on Bitcoin. You could tell that we pretty much hit that 34.8K zone pretty much on the dot before getting rejected off of that point. Now, if we do look back in the past, that's been a key resistance zone, especially when we initially fell from reaching that 42K zone back in January, and we were pretty much underwater for a few days before we regained our grasp. Now, I do think that we will pretty much do another run up similar to this that we did after that consolidation, which that's basically what we are in right now. If we look here, it's actually kind of a similar pattern, right? We had that run up, we came down, came back up, and now we came back down again. If we look here, right, we pretty much went up, came down, and this is that another parabolic push that we had. It wasn't like very parabolic, if you will. It's just been a massive movement that a lot of people were getting ecstatic about. I mentioned multiple times, a lot of the times when people get very happy about a price movement, or they're pretty much getting euphoric, if you will, that's pretty much when you sell. So I mentioned this was pretty much, hey, we're probably going to come back down as we can't break 42K. That's a big resistance point. And then we came back down and retested that 28.8K zone from back even pretty much pre-February, which was a massive drop in price. Now, like I said, I think the next movement up here is going to be parabolic, but we could definitely retest a lower low at this 28K zone, even down to 27K. That will pretty much be the last drop in Bitcoin, and that would pretty much reclaim this January 4th zone that we pretty much seen as a big demand zone. I mentioned it, I don't even know, it's been like probably 20 videos ago, where I said that January 4th zone is a big demand zone for a lot of institutional buyers, and I still think that it's going to happen. I still think that it is very possible. Now, again, it's not guaranteed or anything like that. Again, there's nothing guaranteed in this space, in this market. This price action is very volatile. One day we could be at 100K for an example, and the next day we could be at 25K. So we can't really say for sure that it's going to happen, but it is a very highly probable price action movement that we could see, especially considering the fact that Bitcoin has been showing kind of signs of weakness, if you will. We haven't regained any solid MAs. Volume has been kind of stale. There actually hasn't really been too much volume to really push us up, so I'm expecting a lot more demand at these lower levels down here. I have that 23K to 26K zone marked on the chart. that is still a possibility as well, but I'm still kind of leaning towards that 26 to 28k zone, basically this entire area here being more targeted. Now I think that 27k will most likely probably be our true bottom, in which then we could kind of celebrate saying, hey, we finally got our bottom in. A lot of people will probably be panicking at that time as well. For me personally, I will continue to buy. For an example, I bought HBAR the other day at 14 cents. That was incredible. A lot of people I do know missed out on 14 cents, but hey, it is what it is. You can't always buy the dip. As long as you kind of dollar cost average in and kind of average your buys down, you'll do solid. But I'm definitely expecting us to most likely come down, retest some bottom down here to really get that lower low in. Now, again, like I said, it's not guaranteed, but I'm still expecting some sort of volatile price action on Bitcoin. So let's go look at the HBAR price chart. So 100 days of accumulation we just recently hit. I mentioned that we'll definitely see 100 days of accumulation on HBAR. A lot of people said there's no way the market will pretty much stabilize by then. The market did stabilize for a bit there. We almost hit 42k. I mentioned to you guys on the 18th of June, and this is pretty much before even June 10th or anything like that. I said on the 18th of June we will probably see a relief rally on Bitcoin to around that 40k plus zone. We got it. I sold. I took some profit, and I eventually bought back in at 14 cents, which I was actually very happy about. But hey, we got a little bit of stability, and then it met resistance, and what could you really do, right? So I'm expecting us to pretty much break out of this 100-day plus consolidation pattern that we're basically in, and we will eventually. We aren't too far from the 200-day MA zone. Volume has been picking up on HBAR, as we've seen. A lot of whales are accumulating HBAR with 2 million plus HBAR buy-ins. And for some people that might not seem like a lot, or they don't understand what that means. It just means that behind the scenes, whales are accumulating HBAR because they know what's going to happen next. I'm telling you guys right now, I know a lot of people are still calling, it's a bear market. Why would anybody want to buy alts at these levels? I accumulate anything from, even 15 cents to 30 cents. Like I said, my true aping point, it got hit. Once 15 cents down got hit, especially 14, I was pretty much aping in with massive buys. And 10 cents, if 10 cents gets targeted, which I think that it could possibly be targeted if, and I say if, Bitcoin hits 23 to 26k, I will definitely be buying a massive amount of HBAR, because I do know the power behind Hedera Hashgraph. I do know what I hold. I did my research. If anybody doesn't know about HBAR and what it is, definitely do some research or watch my past videos on it, as I kind of go in depth overall on the entire project. So what's next for HBAR? What do we have to analyze here? What do we have to look for? Let's remove the 100-day pattern here and actually kind of analyze this. So we did fall down below that 18 cent support zone, which we did reclaim it for some time. We pretty much traded on it for a little bit. We broke down below it, which I said, if that area gets broke, we could definitely retest about 16 cents or even 15 cents. And we did retest about 16.2 cents overall, which wasn't too bad. I did buy a little bit there. It wasn't a massive amount. I think I bought maybe 500 or 1,000 HBAR. It wasn't a massive buy-in. But I, accumulate a little bit there. Aping points down at that 14 to 10 cent zone. That's 20k plus HBAR, because from there you can pretty much expect us to do a 10x plus, which is a huge profit point take for a lot of those buy-ins that do cost minimal amounts. Now when we do look at this, our next pinpoint after 16 cents is broken. Now 16 cents isn't a massive support zone, but it is a support zone that we kind of reclaimed back here on the 9th of March, which is technically almost about 17 cents, if you will. Now, like I said, after that's broken, if we do break down, if anything, we probably will retest 15 cents. Again, it's all up to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is showing signs of weakness, so if Bitcoin is showing signs of weakness, it doesn't matter how strong an asset looks, it still will kind of fall with it. HBAR is holding stronger compared to most assets, though, as we haven't really broken down too much, even compared to this low that we printed back in the beginning, or the end, I should say, of May, when Bitcoin initially did its massive dump down. We haven't really broken down past that. Yeah, we kind of fell a little bit down below it, but it wasn't a massive movement down. Like, if we look at most assets like XRP is down 20 cents compared to what it did print this day. So we should be happy about that, especially considering a lot of people, yeah, sure, are in a little bit of a loss on Hedera Hashgraph, but it's not like a huge loss. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely expecting some sort of parabolic push here very soon on HBAR as soon as the market stabilizes. I do want to get this last dip in if it does happen, right? If it does happen, great. If it doesn't, then hey, it's smooth sailing. But I do think at some point in time we'll probably get a relief rally on Bitcoin back up into like that 40K zone. That would be pretty much the rally where everybody thinks that we're going to the parabolic all-time high and going into price discovery again, and pretty much where we go to like 100K or whatever. That's pretty much where we will pretty much get liquidated again and come back down to these massive support zones, or demand zones, if you will, down here. And I do think that will most likely be the question and point where people are saying, is this really over, or is this really it? A lot of people will pretty much leave their bags or sell their bags, and that's pretty much when we will move in price. So we got to really watch here if support zones will be reclaimed, or if there will be a bounce off of support zones, or if resistance points will be, targeted and pretty much crossed. So we really got to watch this and analyze it overall. But for the most part, HBAR is showing signs of strength, and it does have 100 days of accumulation under its belt now. We finally hit that point. It's not a big accomplishment or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, 100 days of accumulation. That is huge. A lot of people say that this is like the biggest bull flag in history. It is a massive bull flag. A lot of people say that's downward price action. It is what it is. If you want to call it that, you can. But realistically, we've discussed the fact that this is pretty much going to be our massive breakout point here before Bitcoin brought us down. And a lot of assets look like they're in a downward slope right now compared to, for an example, like Matic or anything like that, because, comparing it to something like that is pretty much just not feasible, if you will. But, we have been doing our thing lately with HBAR. Volume has been flowing in. Whales are accumulating. So we could pretty much expect a massive breakout once the market stabilizes. But let me know what you guys think. As always, like I said, definitely comment down below and like this video if you guys do want to have a possible win of 100 HBAR. I know it's not a lot, but I will do more in the future, especially as the channel grows. But if you guys did enjoy this video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys could follow me on Twitter at AntCashOfficial. You guys could also join the Discord down in the description below as well for free. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out.